Welcome back to your real estate portal of wisdom. I'm Kady Romagnuolo, broker of record at Blue Moon Realty in Kingston, Ontario. Today, we're going to dive into a really quick tip with those of you who are using Realm as your system for searching through the MLS. Today, I'm going to show you how to set up your market areas. So when you log into your dashboard, you can see the particular areas you focus in at a glance to know what's new, where the price changes are, maybe what deals are now conditional, or what has come back on the market. So go ahead and get logged in, follow along with me here. When you log into your dashboard, you're going to see on your left-hand side here, my market areas. It's possible you might see this layout a little bit differently because I am with the Kingston and Area Real Estate Association, where your board might have you set up a little bit differently here. But my market areas is where you want to navigate to. And you'll notice that on my left-hand side here, I already have a couple of the regions that I tend to work in most often set up at a glance for me to see what's going on when I quickly want to just get a good idea for the landscape of how many properties are available and what's going on with them. So for you to set this up for yourself, you're going to navigate over to this little gear button here to click on your settings. Now, this is going to pop up this window here, and you'll see these are all of the areas that I already have set up as my preferred market areas that I want to keep an eye on. So I've got them split out. This might be really handy for you if you're actually in the Kingston area, because I have this set up into different zones where we will do what I call Kingston proper here at the top, where this is really just right within the city limits. Now, also going down, I've got them split into different zones because Frontenac for me, yes, is actually the region in which Kingston is in, but this gives me more of a setup in the subsettings here that I'll show you for rural properties. So this gives me more of an idea of country properties, maybe cottages, things that I want to see that are a little different than the Kingston city type properties that I have at my top zone here. So what you're going to do, you might not have anything set up here. You might just have new market area. So if you do, you're going to go ahead and click on this little icon here to be able to edit. Now, this is the default that's going to come up with no information in here yet. You can click here for market area to enter the name of the city or the region that you want to identify information for. Next, you're going to select the area here that you want the information to come up for. So I'm going to open up this dialog box here that actually shows you all of the different regions that you could potentially start looking at. And there's quite a few of them, and these are very vast and might not necessarily be within the area that you actually focus in. So if we are trying to get to Kingston information, then what we're first going to want to select is Frontenac here. So I want to apply that. That gives me the broad region, but we also want to go into municipalities here because there is a lot of different regions within Frontenac that aren't necessarily Kingston. So if I'm having this left as just this wide region here and I'm not selecting municipalities, then you're going to get listings that are really far away from Kingston, and that might be not what you're looking to capture on that side screen. So here you'll notice this will include North and also Central and also South and Kingston. So this is a region that you probably want to exclude some of these regions. So if I just go ahead and click on the Kingston here, you're also going to notice for communities that this might be important as well. Now, anything that is within those exact Kingston boundaries, all of the communities here might be everything that you're looking for. You might be really focused only, say, in the city southwest. So maybe you only want that region's data to come up for you. If you want to see everything at a glance, leave everything unchecked, and that's going to allow everything to come through. Now, you can also, what's cool here is click on the select communities in the tab instead of open suggestion box, and you can start typing things. So if I just start typing for central, we'll see all of the central type areas that are going to come up with that within its name. Now you can also leave that blank and just scroll through and click City Southwest. Maybe I also want the East End here. If you click on anything there and see any information within these boxes here, only those areas are going to come through for you. So when you have something that you want more information, you want to leave it blank because we get specific when we have details that are within these boxes. Now you want to pay attention to the classes and the for sale or lease information here. If you leave these blank again, you're going to have everything come through. Maybe you want that, maybe you don't. Maybe you're only focused on selling freehold properties and you don't want any data for anything that might be condos, common elements. Do not check those off then. Maybe you are focused in commercial real estate, so you only want the commercial properties to come through. So pay attention to what you have checked off here. And then also going next to your for sale or lease. Maybe you don't do anything to do with leases or rental properties, so you just want to click off for sale. Maybe you only want to look up the lease data that comes up in this area, so you want to check off the lease. If you are, I also suggest checking off the sublease just in case there's some information that comes through that might be relevant to what you're looking for. And when you feel that you have everything set up the way that you want it to be here, you're going to go ahead and click save, and this is going to create a market area for you. You notice we have not entered our market area here. So let's go ahead and write what we want in there and click save. So you'll notice now that I have test as the market area. We've got it set up with the freehold, also condo and commercial because I did not check anything off in that zone. And I did only check off the lease and the sublease. So you'll see here I have a list of six. Six is the maximum on my particular board. It might be different or the same for you that I can have set up. And then they're going to show on my home screen. Now, I want to actually give you a tip on segmenting out these areas. Maybe you work in a broad region that you want to get specific and narrow down criteria. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete this particular one because I don't want the test one showing up. You might decide in the future you've got areas that you just want to see temporarily information for, and you just simply click delete, and it opens up a new market area for you to add information to later. Simple as that. So let's go in, for example, the Kingston one that I have. This will show you the setup. I have everything checked off here that I want. I could also just leave these all unchecked. I'm a very visual person, so I like to see, yes, these are the ones that I want. So this is going to give me the information essentially for just Kingston proper, city properties, anything within the municipality that is considered City of Kingston. Now, if I go back, I also have Frontenac here. If I go to the settings for what I have here, this is split up to only give me the ones that are not Kingston. So that what I can see is more of the country properties, the rural properties that come up. And I do not want commercial properties coming up in this because of the way that I generally tend to search for them. Now, condos, other types of common element properties are probably really unlikely in these regions, but who knows? Once in a while, you get something that's interesting that comes up. So I have that checked off as well. Now, I do get more specific into, for example, Stone Mills here so that I can see what's going on in Lennox and Addington as the overall region, and then the different municipalities that are within Lennox and Addington that I want to see all of the types of activities that are going on here. Now, I've got it listed as Stone Mills, which is actually one of the communities that is within Lennox and Addington. So you'll notice I have the word surrounding here added as well to my market area, and that's just a prompt for me. So right into your market area here, whatever it is that's going to make the most sense for you to understand what it is that you're looking at. So then you will notice when I close this, so on our dashboard, let's go back to my number one area was Kingston. So this gives me at a glance what's going on. There is 521 new properties in total. That's not new today. That is new in total right now on the system. And then we've got the different things that are occurring. Now you'll notice up here, this is really important too, because you can change what information is showing up here by this box here that says 1 month beside our little gear here. So if I click here, I can actually split this into, say I want to know only what's gone on today. If I change that, you notice this criteria changes quite a bit. So there's only been 5 new properties that are, as of today, listed. There's also 3 price changes that have gone on. One has been marked as sold, so it gives you a lot more condensed data. If I go back to the whole month, this shows me over the entire month, 521 properties are currently marked as new. Now, what you can also do is click on any of these headings here, and that will populate the information that is in the box to the right of it. So we've got, for example, I want to click on new. This is going to give me a list of what we've got going on that has been the new properties over the last month. So what's happened with those properties? We also have the price change ones. We start to get a list of these. At any point, you can click view all and expand that information to be able to see all of the criteria and individually go into each listing if there's something that you want to get more specific on. So as you scroll down in this list, you'd be able to see all 6 of your different areas that are named individually, so you can get snapshots and data at a glance in a really easy way. I hope this was helpful for you. Stay tuned for more tips and tools in your real estate portal of wisdom, where we navigate all things changing in the industry in ways that are helpful, productive, and easy for you to navigate.